Time for the VUC, where we VoIP and tell. This is number 427. First things first, go to simwood.com and subscribe to their mailing list. You'll learn a lot. I know I have. Check out onsip.com. They support the VUC and have for years, and you can do a test with their excellent PBX. It's hosted. You never have to mess with it. I have one, and the VUC has one. Thanks, as usual, to David Frankel and the ZipDX Orchestra for helping us get a great sound out of G722. And to Voxphone for those dial-ins, local rates all over the world. Today we have one of the most charming people in the VUC visiting us. I am talking about none other than voice gal Allison Smith. And Allison, if in case you don't know how to spell that, it's with two L's. It's adorable, lovable, lighthearted, intrepid, sensual. Oh my God! N. I forgot to put something for N.
Oh,
Allison, welcome.
Patty. Okay, thank you, Randy. Oh, I'm blushing. Stop.
Don't blush until we play the demo.
Oh,
but let's talk about what you've been up to.
Oh, it's not all about me. What have you been up to?
Well, I mowed the lawn today. No, we don't have a lawn, actually. Allison, you may not know everybody here, so let me give a brief hello to Andy Smith, who's on the starting from. Well, is everybody getting the same position for everybody? I don't know. Allison's on my left, and Andy, Bob, yep. Chris Matthew, a very rare visitor, Dan Lane, James Bodie, Mr. Randall Schwartz, and yours humble servant, Randy. So, tell us what you've been up. What's happening in Atlanta?
In Atlanta, well, there's the Atlanta Asterisk Users Group, and that's happening, I believe, May 11th, and I shall be doing a little bit of a presentation via Skype, so it's not a big deal, but if you're attending, I shall be chatting about, you know, how to order prompts and how easy and fun and surprisingly inexpensive it is as well. So, yeah. Apart from that, I think I mentioned last time I signed on with ACM Talent in New York, so they're kind of like a big fancy schmancy voiceover agency. So they're hopefully going to be positioning me for things like radio imaging, TV imaging. They actually represent the talent for National Geographic, Discovery Channel, TLC, so it's, you know, kind of a big deal. And they found me to be quite recognizable. When we had a telephone meeting, they went, oh, yeah, we know who you are, we've heard you. So,
no question about that.
Yeah.
No question about that. Let me place your new demo. Can I do that? You mind?
Well, sure, yeah. They had me design a new radio imaging liner, so please bear in mind that this is for like top 40 stations, and it's to keep prepubescent boys tuning in. So.
Excuse me for about 3 minutes while I play this. No, it's about 1 minute long, so.
Okay.
You're tuned in to KISS FM. If you know the name of the diva you'd like to hear blasting out of your speakers, enter the first 3 letters of her name now. You selected Nicki Minaj. Your home for today's top hits, KISS FM. The bad news is you have to work. Work. The good news, we'll keep you company all day long with the greatest hits from yesterday and today. This is Magic 106.7. The rock you want. Ozzy. Godsmack. And 3 Days Grace. This is 101 VX. It's not the size of your signal, it's how you use it.
Wow, that feels really good.
Music for everyone on Montana's Little Giant, Cool 102. News, traffic, weather, and the local stories that impact your life. The Suncoast's #1 news station, AM 1230.
And we're back.
Wow.
Very good.
And that's the engineer who put it together. That's him going, wow, that feels really good. That's
and obviously that's the disclaimer being that depending on what you're listening on out there, you know, obviously that is not the native quality. Because Allison knows how to go native, and that's quality.
Going native, yeah.
I'm telling you. Oh, Carl Fife is with us. What a surprise. Hello,
Hey.
Carlos,
Hey.
Carlos.
how you doing? I'll be seeing you
I'm doing
soon.
great. You know, I know, right? That'll be so fun.
It will. I'll
I
be
was
attending
thinking,
XCW.
I was.
So, yes. Carl and I are going to get
You'll be
together.
attending what?
Sorry, what?
Go ahead, Allison. Carl said, "What are you attending?" or something.
Oh, it's International Telecoms Week, so it's kind of like the big carriers. Sorry, guys, not open source. This would be closed source. But yes, I'll be working those people, trying to charm the Cisco's, and the other big.
Working those people.
Exactly, yeah.
They're actually quite nice people, actually, the Cisco people.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. So, yes, so we'll have a bit of time to explore Chicago. So I'm hoping that Carl and his lovely wife Carol will meet us for dinner one night, and we'll hang out. It'll be lovely.
Absolutely. I've been thinking about different places we could go. So,
Good.
so you have to say of all. See, yeah, there's some great places here in Chicago. So you'll have to make a list and.
Now, everyone who I've told I'm going to Chicago has said, "Well, make sure you don't get murdered." So, what's going on here?
Well,
That's not on the list, so
wasn't
that's good.
Atlanta one of the biggies a couple of years
Atlanta
ago?
was too. Yeah, I managed to avoid those tricky areas because I go from hotel to restaurant to mall. So I'm pretty much untouchable.
Allison, last time you were in Atlanta, as far as maybe that wasn't the last time, but when we met for Astrocon at the Brazilian Steakhouse, whatever those things are called, you had an escort of like 20 guys. So there was no danger there between the hotel and the.
I was completely safe with my army of geeks, and I love it when I go to a restaurant and they're checking out the crowd, and it is literally 20 guys and me. So I always make
the only difference is now that people have Bluetooth, it's like they're, so she's over there in the tape. But before we weren't doing that. But anyway, it was fun. Oh, by the way, the funny story about Allison, picture her. She and I were sitting next to each other talking, and when they brought the checks, they brought individual checks for 24 people.
Oh, God.
And then every single person had to wait until all the checks were paid because they said, "Well, we've had people go out, leave with before," and then there's like one person. They go, "Well, he's gone." So that was fun.
And we looked like a very shifty crowd for sure. So.
Hey, what's his name? Jr.
Oh, Jr.
Oh, I've got photographs of JR.
He was shifty enough for all of us.
It was important because he didn't start a bar fight this year. So typically that's his thing. I love him dearly, but he's scrappy.
He's great.
Scrappy. Yeah, exactly.
So anyway, any news on you did some things for Digium last year. You and Steve had this request of prompts. Is there any progress on that? Anything new on that to say?
You know what, I've actually, I don't know if Steve's on this call. I sent him a couple of messages asking if there's been any updates. We were planning on doing another set of those prompts like back in October or November, so it never did happen. He's back at Digium, so I don't know. I don't know what's going on. But if people want to add to the prompt list, maybe get a hold of Steven. He'll compile a new prompt list, and I shall record it. No charge to you. I'd be happy to do it. It just
He's
has
not
to be.
answering your calls?
What's that?
He's not answering your calls?
He's not answering my calls. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not taking it personally.
That's
yes,
good.
actually, Ole Johansson on Facebook had some ideas for some good prompts because his asterisk box kept dying. So I asked him, what exactly do I say before I die? This would be important for me to know. So that started a whole discussion of things that I could say. I thought I should record, "I'm melting," as of Wizard of Oz. That would be a good...
Have you done anything like fan temperature 105 degrees?
That'd be great. See, let's start a new list. Stuff like that.
Actually, mine's 126 at the moment.
You actually have a temperature gauge?
Well, it's a thing on the. It says 126 on the CPU heatsink, proximity 129, 140 on the GPU die. Yeah, well, that's big video time. Big video.
Yes.
That's what we do. Anybody have any questions for Allison or comments? And let's not start with James. Randall, you met Allison in Phoenix, did you not?
Randall, yes.
You guys remember Randall?
Oh, he's getting his headset. Oh, what's going on? We're not sure.
He's getting his headset on.
Okay.
The headset probably doesn't fit anymore.
That was so much. Yeah, the headset doesn't fit anymore. Too skinny.
Yeah, sorry. I had the microphone muted because I don't have a separate headset right now. I just basically just using earplugs, and I wanted to make sure we didn't get echo feedback. So I don't know how good the echo cancellation is here, but there it is. Yeah, I did meet Allison. That was a lot of fun.
Hello, Randall. How you doing?
Hey, doing well. I'm half the man I used to be. I've lost 45 pounds in the last 6 months.
This is astounding. Now, are you following the Randy Resnick diet?
No, don't get started with that. He's LCL. That's okay.
Low carb,
Though.
high fat.
Whatever works.
Well, you're very disciplined. I applaud you. That's amazing.
Here's before and after.
Astounding. Look at that. Wow.
It is. Let me focus that. There we go. Let's let that slowly get in.
There we go. Show it again. Oh,
Look at that. Oh, you've changed your name, and you're now called 577-244-101513.
it has
And I
a
no
nice.
longer have a large black man standing next to me. It's a lot easier that way.
Yeah, you know, Randall, I actually lost a bit of weight a few years ago, and I lost it when I stopped thinking of gravy as a beverage.
Ah,
That was
very
a big
important.
point for me. You know. Yeah.
You just put it someplace. If you do lose it, make sure you lose it someplace you're not likely to find it.
yeah.
Very good.
Oh, here it is, on my thighs.
But I have no worries that when I reach my actual goal weight, which is only maybe about 10 pounds more at most, that I'll be able to stay there really level. So, because I'm not changing my way of eating after this, I'm still going to keep eating low carb, high fat for the rest of my life because it's healthy.
There you go. There you go. You just increased the exercise. Good for you.
Well, what'll be interesting.
Zero extra exercise. Zero.
Zero exercise.
I'm a lazy ass.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
No
Well,
exercise. Yes.
now, Randy,
What'll be
how-
interesting. Go ahead,
I keep
Al.
my carbs. I keep my carbs under 50 grams a day. I eat about 100 grams of protein and the rest healthy fat. And I'm satiated. I'm not counting calories. I'm just having a great time, and I just keep getting thinner.
Amazing. Yep. That's awesome.
A lot of people have that problem.
Was that worm?
Nice.
Keep getting
That's what it is.
Now, is bacon one of the good fats? I'm always
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Bacon is in like half of my meals now.
Delicious ones.
excellent.
I go into Wendy's and order a double baconator with cheese. I say, give me that heart-healthy double baconator with cheese, but leave off the artery clogging bun.
But
That's the absolute truth.
Wow.
How do you attack it though? Do you have a knife and fork? And
Yeah. How do you attack?
Yeah, they bring it on a plate, and so they give me a knife and fork, and I just keep it on the plate.
In the United States, James, food is served on plates in restaurants.
Yeah.
Indeed. Indeed.
Actually, people in Europeans often eat hamburgers with silverware, particularly females.
well, actually, in our household, we do. But
Well, da-di-da for you.
oh,
Doesn't that go against the constitution of the country?
Yeah, of hamburger.
I think
A hamburger's a sandwich. You got to have it in your hands.
Well, you see, in James's house, the butler brings it in a silver-domed container. So they have to eat it with the finest silverware.
In Brazil, I know that they don't like to touch their food with their hands. So, like, even when they eat a hamburger, they'll put it inside a napkin. So all the food that we would normally just grab with our hands, typically Brazilian will grab it with a napkin around it.
Hey, Randall, continuing on your LCHF thing, by the way,
Sure.
this is a great idea to substitute a lettuce for the bun. So if you're eating you can eat anything, hamburger, whatever it is that you're eating that's meat or whatever, you just have it in lettuce instead of bread. And it's
I feel weird touching lettuce and eating it, though.
Well,
For some reason, I don't mind bread doing that, but I don't like lettuce doing that. Doesn't make any sense to me.
Well, but Vietnamese food is often eaten in salad leaves. It
Ask me
depends
how
on-
many times I've eaten Vietnamese food.
Yeah.
Probably zero.
Okay, well, there you go. Anyway, I just thought I'd throw that out to the general public because
No, I don't mind. And again, 50 grams of carbs means that once a day I can eat a bun if I want. So if I'm on the run, I haven't eaten any other carbs that day, I will in fact go ahead and eat the bun on the sandwich. Yeah.
Now,
Randall will just grab
Oh.
a bun on the door on the way out.
grab a bun.
how is your book selling on Amazon?
I'm still the top-selling training book in Pearl. Still
Oh,
the
okay.
top.
actually, the question was for Randy.
Oh, it's,
sorry.
I think the profits are
Other
up.
round.
The profits are going to the Hunger Project.
Oh, my.
THP.org, and I think I'm up to $14 now.
Oh, for gosh sakes.
Yeah. Well, what can I tell you?
Well, that probably makes you the top-selling book in your household, then, doesn't it?
It is. I bought it when it was free. Something like 1,200 people downloaded the free version, which is wonderful, and I'm so pleased that 3 of them, including probably 2 of the people that are here in this hangout, actually did a review. Yeah, Allison, thank you, and Bob did too. We should keep that secret because otherwise Amazon will probably get rid of those reviews because they're from friends. But anyway.
Well, your advice clearly works because Alison's looking so well.
Yeah, I mean, she's real. She read Real Men Stay Fit, right, Allison?
Yeah.
Real men stay fit and Alison stays fitter.
I read about the big parts, but a lot of it was applicable,
Some of it is. My wife insists that men and women are different. I said, how? And she said, well, that's the problem. You don't know.
Randy, I gave you a pamphlet about that, and I suggest you review it. Okay.
I didn't read it yet.
They are different. Certainly, it's true.
Okay.
True.
That's John Kovici, one of our earliest
Hi there.
members. Hi, John.
Hey, also, is Ward Mundy on the call today?
Ward? Hello, Ward. No, I'm afraid he's not.
Well, I wanted to thank him because he allowed me to do a guest blog on Nerd Vittles, which he very seldom apparently allows, so I felt very privileged. So I wrote about the state of the IVR address. And basically, I'm encouraged by the changes that people are writing their IVR.
That's fantastic. And his blog uses numbers. I'll have to try to find that. How recent is that? That's like
probably about 3 weeks ago, so it should be fairly easily findable.
Go to Nerd Vittles and see if I can get that. While you chat amongst yourselves.
To allow me on there. Yeah, it's nice.
See if we can get something happening here. Oh, James has posted a picture of JR. I'll grab that in a second. What was the name of the article, Allison?
State of the IVR address, I think. Yes. Should be there.
Gee, if Ward had a search, it would be a little easier. Let's see. Oh, look at this. He used a word cloud.
Yeah, Ward is very good at producing words, isn't he? It doesn't hold
Allison Smith. All right, let me try this super fancy Clear Effects. Go to Desktop Plus. Go to Select Capture Area. Oops, wrong screen. Damn it. Main screen. Filter out. Bear with me, folks. This is
Zoom.
Where's my Zoom? Oh, select. Okay, here we go.
Zoom.
We're getting there. We're getting there.
Well,
there's Ward. There's Allison. Bear with me. I told you, patience. PayPal. That's one of my bet noir. All right, let's see. What does this look like on the Hangout?
So you can zoom a bit more.
There you go. What should I zoom on? The lovely. That's a nice shot, Allison. I don't have that one of you.
No, I was going to say that's a new.
That's beautiful. That's great. Look at that! Wow.
Oh my gosh.
Thoughts of Allison, you could collect them all.
Allison, you could be on Nashville with that.
Yeah, that's
fantastic. All right, here we go. So, state of the art address. So anyway, folks, here's the
debate with one of my voiceover colleagues. They think that you shouldn't put pictures of yourself because that might influence people's decisions about whether or not to hire you if you don't look like your voice. I don't see the harm, basically.
Well, in your case, we would hire you all immediately, wouldn't we?
Right. So this is easy enough to say. nerdvittles.com/P equals 5296. The number to remember, 5296, if you want to read that article. That does look interesting. And PayPal is one of my least favorite organizations on the internet, so let me just zoom in on that and tell you how many times I've had to fight to get accounts unfrozen and other things like that.
Yeah, they're the devil, and they charge a lot in fees. So yeah.
eBay is the devil. PayPal is just the familiar of the devil. Okay.
Got it. Okay.
The devil's.
Are we straight? Okay.
Yeah, I've had to use PayPal a few times just to pay some people that only accepted PayPal, but
well, a lot of those porn sites are like that.
yeah, I haven't had any trouble. Well, yeah, even this great site that has old classical music recordings from the 40s and the 50s. They only accept PayPal, so I don't have a choice. So anyway, so
Yeah. It's funny, everybody's complaining about Google Reader being shut down. I think if PayPal got shut down, there would be much less complaining.
Exactly. Yeah. Do you know what?
I wonder why Google Reader is being shut down anyway. Why did they?
No. Who cares?
Yeah. Oh, really?
Who cares?
That was a discussion.
care, but
We were discussing that before, but yeah.
Yeah. It's just the Twitter sphere has been just full of, oh no, they shut down the Google Reader thing, and
well, Google Plus is
Allison read it, and
20
then
times
everybody
more.
will like it then. Yeah.
Oh,
Allison, I've probably asked you this before, and I'm sorry because I'm getting older, and but the point is, have you looked into Audible.com for maybe doing a read? Because I'm sure you could do that.
what is Audible? Yeah, I'm not familiar with it.
You don't.
Oh,
do we have to start from no? No, it's just how books Audible books started. In other words, audio books started with
audio
books.
books actually.
Right. Well,
Yeah.
I was going to say audio books started for the blind.
Right.
But they are very common now, and Randall's probably into that. In fact, he reads for what is it called? Starship Coach.
Okay. Did you? Just
But the point is, anyway, Audible's in New York, and you could hook up anyone who does the professional reading could do this. It just depends on finding something that works for you, for your personality, or something that you're able to do. Audible is owned by Amazon now, and they've got I don't know how many thousands of books that are read by professional readers and actors. Stephen Fry did one that I love.
Did you see audiobooks for the blonde? Because I wasn't aware that they actually.
no, because they don't know how to hook up.
Got it. No,
No, but you should look at that because I'm.
I actually have a few colleagues that do that kind of long form narration. They actually read textbooks for the sight impaired and novels, and it's a marathon where I think of myself more like a sprinter. I really do enjoy doing shorter, IVR prompts and stuff like that. But it takes a bit of a time commitment. But yeah, I should perhaps look into it.
Starship Sofa. I'm sorry, Randall, but thanks for putting that in. Randall reads for Starship Sofa. That's a volunteer thing, I think. There are sites also. This is way beneath your level, Allison, but there are a couple of sites that Randall probably would know. I signed up for one just for the hell of it to do short prompts and stuff, cheap, for people who can't afford you. But the fact is that I set my prices high enough where I haven't gotten a single offer yet. So there you go.
Was this Voice Bunny that you recommended?
I think it might have been, yeah. It might be that.
I looked into it. It's kind of like a Voice 1, 2, 3 situation where it does become almost like the eBay for voiceovers. So
exactly.
Not to sound elitist, but yeah, most serious voiceover people kind of avoid that sort of thing because I'm not interested in getting into a bidding war. My rates are my rates. No. They're actually not that high, people. They're really not. In fact, I've been told to raise my rates numerous times, but I just won't. So,
No, I wasn't suggesting that. However, the Audible thing probably does pay enough, but I totally get what you're saying because it's like it would be very difficult to do that because you got to mash the sound. You probably have to use their studio, by the way, so that might be a killer for you right there.
You would have to keep your energy level consistent. The actual sound quality is not that hard. I basically don't fiddle with my settings whatsoever so that things remain consistent, but it's more like energy level from day to day. I don't know how the audiobook people do it, but I did do something interesting through Asterisk the other day. Somebody hired me to do prompts for a parket ticket dispensing system. So I'll be probably one of the most hated voices in the Midwest saying, please take your ticket. Yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
What are the longest projects that you have done? I mean, everybody who's listening to my voice now knows everything about Asterisk probably and any of the other prompts that you've done. But in other areas, what was the longest thing you had to do in production-wise?
Yeah, I would say probably the names database that I did for a medical consortium that wanted to use it for auto dialing. So they would call patients and say, Randall Resnick has an appointment at Tuesday, 4 o'clock, with Dr. Lewis. So it's all personalized. So it was reading a database of proper names, and that took probably 3 hours a day, every day, for 6 months. So by the end of that,
it's like key data entry, I think. You know, when I first started my business years ago, the first project we got required just typing in a bunch of data. And most people would hire somebody to do that. But because we were just starting out, I said, hey, I'll do this myself. And I mean, it was like 2 weeks of typing stuff into the computer. And what you're saying is the audio equivalent, basically, of that.
Yeah, definitely. Also, Kepstrel, you know.
How many names there were?
Yeah, how many?
You know, they were actually naming for, they were aiming for about 1 million of them, and they actually only got about 350,000, which is still a pretty respectable database. I know. And some of the names were crazy. There was, I remember reading Cupcake, Pinecone, and there was a hyphenated last name called Pleasant Smelling. Don't ask me why that was in the database, but Pleasant Smelling. Yeah. I've contemplated changing my name.
Pleasant Smelling, your appointment is now. Pine cone called Pleasant Smelling.
Exactly.
That's a good one. Or were they just trying to do it and their automated system would pick it out, or how would they, you know?
I think they'd use the names to call people to tell them about appointments, but also it has far-reaching implications. It could be used in bill collection. It satisfies privacy, HIPAA requirements to make sure that they're speaking to the right person, that kind of thing. So, yeah.
And the bill collection would be like, if you don't pay your bill, we're going to kill you, and it won't be pleasant smelling.
There you go. That's right. There you go. That's right.
Maybe somebody entered Tori's
The other day, I had to do prompts that, believe it or not, auto-dialed registered sex offenders to tell them that they have not checked in yet with their parole officer. So.
And what tone did you employ with that kind of call?
Super sexy. Super sexy. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
I asked them if they wanted it to be kind of provocative and said, dear God, no. Just tone it down. Tone it down. So.
Yeah, really.
Allison, have you ever done anything like this?
Hi, my name is Gigi.
Is that something that you? Is there a price on that?
So
Can you
many
quote us?
questions have come to mind, such as, how do you have that recording, Randy?
Well, because that was an answering machine. Oh, there's another thing. Have you done answering machine, actually, you know, special request answering machine things for, like, you know, people who really want a specific thing?
Have a lot of money or something.
Yeah, really, that would be one of the qualifications.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Yeah, exactly. Actually, to tell you the truth, I have done the introduction, so the auto attendant message for some 900 lines. Nothing provocative, just saying you've reached, you know, singles corner, press 1 for this. They found that they did have a few requests for, I want that gal that answered the phone. So, yeah, she's not real.
No, actually, that JJ thing.
I can understand that, yes.
Oh.
That recording, the first part I just played, was somebody sent me a collection, and it was in the days of cassette tape ansophones. And there are two things. I had one, an imitator did a bunch of, like, Humphrey Bogart, you know, old stuff, Humphrey Bogart. Hang on, and that was great. But that got stolen out of my car. I was repairing that person's answering machine and got stolen. But somebody, a very good friend of mine, did a bunch of those, produced those, thinking you could sell them. And I think in the days of where you just popped in a cassette, you could.
Yeah.
Nowadays it's a little bit different, but in what you do is provide the files. Take care, Randall. Thanks for, good to see you, always. Thanks for dropping in. You know, now with what you do, you provide files, so it would be just as easy if somebody wanted, like, a special thing. Well, wait a minute. There was a Carl somebody who once had. Is that recording available any place? I love that thing. That's really funny. But otherwise, we had.
I bet that
It's available. It's available in high def if you can dial SIP.
Oh, are you talking about the Carl on hold?
Carl,
Oh, yeah.
what is it called?
Oh, yeah.
Carl's.
Thanks for calling Carl.
Is there anybody on the planet who hasn't heard it yet? Otherwise, I would.
That's pretty classic. Yeah, yeah.
There's no MP3 or something I could, because it's easier for me to mix in a link. If
I
that's
can email you an MP3 of it.
There you go. In fact, I think Carl, you actually asked for the music that was mixed behind it. You like the music so much.
What was I going to do with that?
Oh, wait a minute. If there's music, I probably can't play it if there's music.
Oh, it's royalty-free, dear.
Not the music alone.
Oh.
I think you said, Allison, that it's that the music has a funny license, right? Where you can somehow
Well, yeah.
We distribute the music alone or recorded behind something.
Yeah, I've purchased it, so I have an obligation to use it only in the context of mixing it behind my voice. So technically, I shouldn't release the actual song, but
that's good.
Yeah, I just love the name of the song. It's called "It's Gonna Be Okay."
Otherwise,
as opposed to the other one you have, which is ah.
The other one, which is, it's really not gonna be okay.
We are all screwed. That's the name of it.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, I will tell you, Randy, that I did a project a few years ago. It was for Kodak, and it was a film development kiosk. So you could take in your film and just sort of self-serve, turnkey, develop your own pictures. And I did the
film. I think I've heard of that.
Yeah. So I did it, and as far as I know, the client was really happy. But then he notified me a couple of months later and said, you sound too sultry, and the reason why they know that is they tracked how many men versus women came in to do their film. So the men were going through the whole process happy as clams. The women were starting the process and then backing out of it and leaving the store with their arms crossed. You know, she's going to steal our husband.
So funny.
Yeah,
she's going to steal my man.
God. Insane.
Yeah, so I had to redo that one. But,
you, Carl, and I discussed once, and we never got the energy to do this. We were going to do like the scene from Airplane where the two announcing things of the red curb, the red zone and the white zone, and we were going to do that with like elevators or something. We had the beginnings of an idea that would have been funny, and then we kind of forgot about it.
Okay, so somebody
two elevators fighting or something.
Somebody needs to spearhead the asterisk prompts I wish I had project if Stephen doesn't want to do it anymore, and compile these things, including the airplane spoof. Believe it or not, somebody actually did email me a while back and said, was that you in the movie? And it's like, my God, when did that movie come out? I think I was 10 when
you were like 10 or something, not even.
Yeah. Bless your heart, probably. But anyhow, yeah, we should do that. It'd be fun.
Anybody else have any ideas? We're open.
We're open.
Look to the skies. Keep watching the skies.
I know that voice.
Was that yours, James?
That's that lady.
No, that wasn't from me.
Oh, okay.
No, that was me. You did that for us. You did that for me. In fact, where are your... Oh, no, that's not you.
In there.
You did one of those. You did a couple. You did that one, and you did the VUC. We don't use the VUC one anymore, but we'll have to do some new ones maybe on there.
Yeah.
On the way back from Astricon, going through Atlanta Airport, I noted that you told me to stop smoking 6 times.
In the elevator?
No, in the airport.
Because smoking was.
And it was stern, Allison.
Yes.
No, stern. She can do stern.
Okay, so.
Yeah, with a southern accent as well. It was quite good. Yo. Y'all stop smoking.
Yeah, right.
Over the years, I've put the you're not the next person on hold recording up on various DIDs just as a placeholder, and I look at the call record sometimes, and clearly some people find it and pass it around, and then people start calling and calling and calling.
Yeah, that's pretty funny. Yeah.
It's a fun thing to do at the office when you're not paying for the call.
It is. So, guys, you know, when I had this T-shirt made out, this I Heart Asterisk Geeks, I don't know if you can see that.
Let's see it.
I debated about the ethics of me calling you guys geeks. Like, is it something you guys can call each other but nobody else can call you? It's not a derogatory thing.
No, it isn't. It's okay. Don't worry.
No, it's fine.
Yeah. Okay. It was funny
I don't
because I
mind.
read it going, I don't know, should I? Because I think I wore it to the Astricon that was in Carefree, Arizona.
Oh yeah.
At the end of the day, Alison, you can do whatever you like.
I can do.
You're the queen, so you know.
I could kill a geek and get away with it. No.
You could.
Don't want to do that. Yeah.
Well, you wouldn't kill it, but everybody else would.
Exactly. So, Life Madsen on the call? Hello, Life.
He's in there. There he is. He's there. There he is.
Hello, brand new dad.
Hello.
Are you sleep deprived?
Yes, very much so. And my beer's empty.
Oh dear. What? It's pretty early. Wow.
No, it's afternoon.
It's true, yes.
And it's Friday, so you get an extra hour ahead of that, right?
Okay, all right. I'm not going to enable you. Okay.
Yeah, no, he was. He decides every other night to be good, and then the next night he decides to be bad. So.
Oh no. What's his name?
Evan.
Evan. I see. I see. I thought you were going to call him something asterisk related. I don't know.
I tried to come up with a couple of things, but it was not flying.
Wait, there will be a Chan.Evan eventually.
Yeah.
Yeah, right, probably.
His middle name is Bowie. Yeah.
There's nothing really that clever. I mean, all the names end up being something that you're just like, that doesn't sound like a real name.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the problem.
Oh, I see.
So yeah, sorry. Yeah, it's hard to focus on Friday after being up all week.
Gosh, I can't even imagine. That's why I didn't actually have kids of my own. I have stepkids, which allow you to sleep. So.
Very nice. That's the right move, I think. I'm really wishing I got on that train.
It's a much quieter train.
It certainly is.
So Evan, not Pinecone then, huh?
What Pinecone? Yeah.
Or Pine Frog, or Pineapple, or Pine Orange.
But his middle name is Pleasant.
Or beautiful smelling.
Exactly.
All right, here's a little of Carl on hold. I don't know how long this is, but this is one of my all-time favorites.
Thank you for calling Carl. Did you know that Carl has been a proud member of the Chicago community since 1994 and has over 2 friends in the Chicagoland area alone? Thank you for continuing to hold. Carl is just moments away.
Randall needs one of these.
We appreciate your patience. We are busy giving other customers the same legendary Carl service that we look forward to giving to you when your call is answered shortly.
The Carl experience.
Your call is very important to Carl. Carl is committed to giving you the kind of service you deserve. When Carl returns, he will give you the careful attention that you've come to expect from Carl. Your patience is appreciated. We know your time is valuable, and Carl knows that too. We'll be with you shortly.
Oh, yeah.
Did you know that Carl has many interests, including creating elaborate parodies of Music on Hold recordings with professional voiceover artists like Allison Smith? Please hold on. Carl will be with you in just a moment. You're only moments away from receiving the Carl experience firsthand. It's an exciting time to be you. Don't hang up on Carl. Carl processes calls in the order they are received, so please continue to hold. If you hang up and redial, this will only further your delay in speaking to Carl. You're holding for Carl, kingpin of the asterisk community. Ask about the Carl difference and how you can be a part of it when your call is answered shortly.
I wanted to play the part where I talk about how he's flame resistant. Yeah, there was a whole list of descriptors.
Well, you know, it's worth doing again. I think it's worth taking the bet because we had it's funny you mentioned Carefree, the Astraconic Carefree. That's when we first talked about that.
That's right.
I think that's when I met you the first time, and then we kind of threw this out there. And then I met you a year later, and we're like, damn, let's do it.
Let's do it. Actually, Carl, I thought about you this last week. I thought we should have done a call-in line for people applying to be the Pope.
Oh, yeah.
You missed that one. Yeah, now you're going to have to wait another 10 years.
The Carl recording, but then like break it into multiple files so that it plays it, and then where it would say Carl, you insert, and it's like a totally different voice. Like, thank you for calling Jim Bob.
Yeah.
And then you could everyone could play it, and then you could put it in there, and you just stick in whatever file you want, and just like with a totally different voice or something.
Well, no, and the Pope idea, we could have, if you're applying to be the Pope, please submit your resume and 6 Polaroids too.
We missed the opportunity. We missed the opportunity there. There's a bunch of people on IRC who are ready to pay thousands, Allison. So we better organize that recording, put it up to date, and then make sure that you can specify a different first name and put a price on it.
Absolutely.
Or just use Capstrol, right?
There is no swearing. This is a public broadcast, Carl.
Exactly.
You've got but speaking of different voices, this is actually a true story. That was like 1997 or something like that. We were one of the early on Oracle customers back when Oracle had hundreds of deployments, and
hello?
Their technical assistance service, they literally had a different voice for different parts. It was like, the number, your ticket number is 5679. It was just hilarious. That someone, especially somebody that technically savvy.
I know.
Yeah, right. I mean, it'd be one thing if it was like, Jim and Bob's lawn mowing service, but it's Oracle, the largest.
The bigger the organization, the less inclined they are to pay for a voice. My husband, he works for a big radio network up here, and they had to rebuild their phone system, so he bought a Cisco system, and I felt this vein on the side of my head go thwip. I was like, what? But then he was talking about how they spent $100,000 to implement this system, and he said, yeah, we just grabbed one of the receptionists to do the prompts. And I said, gee, I wonder if we know anybody at all who could...
Anybody?
Who do we know? And he's like, no, they couldn't afford your hourly rate. It's like $240. They can't afford that after $100,000. Oh.
Crazy.
I know, it's crazy.
What do they say? The cobbler's children have no shoes, right?
That's exactly it, yes. But yeah, so the big organizations usually just sort of grab somebody on staff. So that's why when you call Oracle, it's a mosaic of 15 different voices. It's so crazy. Oh, hire me.
It really would be funny to just sort of do that very thing and just kind of, instead of having it be an accidental characteristic, make it a deliberate characteristic, like where each single number is not only just a different voice, but like a different accent, different gender,
The number 4 is voiced by the Cookie Monster. It could be really funny.
That's even better.
As long as you don't mention the Swedish chef, I'm happy, Allison.
The Swedish chef, that's right. Oh my God. Oh, too funny.
Yeah, we still have a few voice prompts left over from the very, very early days of TruePhone, and there's one of me.
Cows.
You only get if you try and do something really, really, really naughty. And I think I'm the only person who ever gets it. There's nothing worse than being told off by yourself for being bad.
So you voiced it, James?
I'm afraid I did, yeah.
That's fabulous. I bet
I had to put on my stern voice. I'm sorry, not allowed to do that. Well, I get it all the time. It's very boring.
Yeah.
I have an old friend in the alarm business who used his wife to record prompts for alarms. Then she divorced him, and for many years he had to listen to her voice every time the alarm went off and every time customers complained. So don't use your wife or girlfriend.
Exactly.
That was the lesson learned.
Well, Ule, you know the story that my husband downloaded the workout program for BlackBerry, and it's like a personal workout coach that keeps you motivated at the gym. And the first time he used it, he came home and he said, guess who's the voice of the workout program? It's me. They use Capstrol. So the last thing he wants is me motivating him at the gym. So, Oh, it's great. So, Uli, I was telling them about your
Why
suggestions.
not? I think that would work.
Well, yeah. Remember the discussion we had on Facebook about the prompts that you wanted?
Oh, what was that?
When the asterisk box dies, I was going to...
Oh, yes.
Yes. I should do those. Definitely.
Yeah. I still use the prompts you gave me for Zipit.
Oh,
The
yes.
ones where you use the old IPv4 address and you have a very strong teacher voice saying that, I noticed that you still use the old IPv4 type addresses.
Well, that's a good one. And we could do another one going, oh, I'm sorry, you sound terribly narrow band today.
That's a good one.
Listen, we got to get this list going, Randy.
Let me try to work on it. I'm not overtaxed at the moment.
I'll bet you are.
Yeah, I am actually. So,
And
what else is happening? This is great. This is great, by the way, and I should probably put in a plug for the IP communications and VoIP community on Google+. Yeah, Google+. Everybody hates Google+ now because they think it's the death of Google Reader, but forget that. The point is...
Google Plus for me is just a Randy forum. I'm so impressed that Google created a forum for Randy Resnick.
Yeah, that's true, but it's community-oriented, and we love it.
Well,
It's
I
great.
couldn't even go onto it if I wanted to. So
Why not? The browser isn't there a browser with a screen reader or whatever? You could, right?
No, it doesn't work. It's not accessible at all.
What platform do you run, John?
Well,
Windows? No, but Windows? Yeah, Explorer. So, because if you, I mean, I don't want to sound like Apple Defender because I'm really irritated with them right now because my 3G isn't working on the iPhone because of the update. But one of the things that they do well is accessibility. You can't.
Yeah, but they don't access Google Plus either, as far as I know.
Well, sure. You know, I mean, I'm talking about not on the phone, but if you were using Safari and the reader, you would be able to surf through all that stuff. Oh yeah, definitely, definitely.
Have you tried
Because it's
it?
all it's built in. Well, I mean, it's built into the system. Somebody help me here because I don't really know because I haven't tried.
No. I use voice. I have a Mac. I use VoIPover all the time.
And it doesn't work with Safari?
No, but it doesn't work with Google Plus.
Oh, you know what? You may have hit on something. You're right because Google Plus is so JavaScripty. That's a good point, actually. Yeah, it's not just HTML, so that's quite possible.
That's right.
Interesting.
Exactly, so
but you know, they say that. Well, John, they say that they're interested in accessibility, so that's something that we should probably.
They say a lot of things.
I know.
If
No, but I mean,
Docs doesn't
but I mean, we
work
should.
either.
No, but this is
The only-
important. This is important. I think we should probably try to push back that information because if we don't push back, then nobody knows anything and they don't care and they won't do anything. It's like that's why we have pain sensors in our bodies, right, Allison? Because then if you have a pain in your knee, it means that there's something wrong and it has to be attended to.
I'm not the only one here. I mean, that. But Google Docs, the whole Google.
Interesting.
The whole Google thing. The only browser that even came a little bit closer to it was you had to get Google Chrome with some weird extension, and then you could sort of do a few things.
Okay. Well, anyway,
I agree with Randy. We really need to push that information back. Google is investing a lot of money in having speech control, but they need to have the other way too.
I didn't know. I never thought about that actually. That the when you're on Google Plus because there's so much script. I think I can see why maybe it wouldn't be that work. Anyway, yeah, let's do something. We'll do something about that. That's an important part.
Wouldn't there be legal obligations to provide services? Because in a lot of places, your companies are obligated to provide services that are accessible to.
Right, but I don't know if Google Plus is in that category.
Well, Google, John, in all fairness, John, Google themselves do a lot of, they do spend a lot of time on making stuff accessible. They've done a lot of things with captioning. I'm trying to remember what now, I just heard recently, but for example, YouTube will do automated captions. So if you go on YouTube and you're watching, quote unquote, a presentation, for people who are hearing impaired, there's captions. So for the people who are sight impaired, there's got to be some considerations, and I think I
There's
thought I
some, but
saw
it's-
something about that actually.
It's pretty, like the whole Android operating system. Google is it's sort of not quite all there. Even though after this many years, it is doable, but it's not as good as
Actually,
it should be.
John might be interested in this. Google actually just put out a call for Chromebook accessibility testing. So if you have some kind of if you have disability, there's an application you can do. A good friend of mine is deaf, and he basically applied. So if you're looking to help out in the accessibility front, I'll see if I can find that link, and I'll send it off. I'll put it on to. I'll give it to Randy, and he can forward it on.
Sure,
Okay.
be happy to.
Okay, although I don't have a Chromebook, but I mean, I would get a Chromebook.
No, they send it. They're going to send you one.
Oh, I see. Oh, really?
Yeah, you interested, John?
Okay, sure. Why not?
And we'll send you Allison to read the prompts. Allison will come over. Where are you, in New Jersey or New York or someplace?
I'm in Virginia.
Oh, Virginia. Okay.
I'll even go there.
You'll come to her.
Yeah, sure. Why not? She can be the accessibility. She can just read the whole thing, and then we'll have to worry about it.
Allison is one of the most accessible people I've ever met, honestly.
Now, what does that mean exactly?
Well, I better say something, or my wife will be down here. She's listening. No, I mean, you're accessible. You're a wonderful person who's not. You could. No, when people go, Allison, this is your show, actually, so we should get back to you. When you are hanging out with the rest of us, your time is, you're very generous with your time, you're very gracious, and that's why we love to have you here.
Well, and I love being here, and I love going to Astricon. I can't imagine not going. I actually spoke to June, who is the French voice of Asterisk, and I asked her if she was going to Astricon that year, and she said, "Why? Why would I go? It's a big waste of time."
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
This is exactly what I'm saying, though, is that you and it's terrible because I can't remember who.
We get you to do free switch prompts.
Kevin, there you go.
Exactly.
Conflict of interest. Kevin and you, Asterisk. Oh, yeah. All right, enough drinking. Allison,
that's right.
Kevin, myself, and Alfred. You remember? We went into one of those suites at Astricon last year with a huge bottle of vodka or something. I don't know. You weren't drinking any. Let me clarify that right now. But anyway, the point is, no, Allison's very kind, and she could just be somebody who said, "Hey, this is the gig. It goes until 6 p.m. And then the show floor is closed." And I mean, I'm sure there are many people who do that. And you're not one of them, so that's great.
No, I will hang out and drink late with you for sure.
And you allowed me to buy you dinner, so that was a major.
People to buy me dinner. I'm so kind.
You're so kind. No, but really, anyway, enough of the boot polishing. Anybody have any questions or comments for Allison? Ken in IRC, by the way, is mentioning due to heavy call volume, our system is, and we will hang up now or something. Seg fault. You remember that one, Allison?
I'm a busy person with a very bad memory, so I.
Well, you did one of those, and you also did the. I'm trying to remember what this was. The once was a developer who deadlocked a thread. That's one of the more famous ones. That's
Absolutely.
a great piece of work.
That's very famous.
And I might as well have been reading in Greek because really I have no idea what it was I was talking about. But that's kind of what I do. I read really technical stuff, e-learning modules for dental hygienists that's full of terminology, but I try to make it sound as though I know what I'm talking about. I still don't know what a deadlock is, or a kernel, or a SIP GUI interface. I just go to my happy place, Yeah.
It's funny.
I think that particular one is on the free switch .org.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Yep.
Yeah, and every time you're on, Allison, we end up playing it.
I know. All the old hits come out. Yeah, it's.
Yeah, really. We should let's put out the anthology. Well, we have to wait until you pass away for that, so your heirs, right. Get the royalties from the main anthology. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. Well,
Anyway.
I probably have to jump off fairly soon, but you guys are just fabulous. You make me feel very welcome, and I love hanging out with you guys.
And we do too.
right.
We love having you.
Like,
Any last minutes for Allison? We will.
Yes, Alison, come to Berlin with us.
Yeah, we should.
Forget your husband. Just come to Berlin. Come out to your world.
Berlin is Kamailio World. I was going to say something about it, but I was going to let Allison go first. But Kamailio World, go to vuc.me/K, the letter K.
Okay.
Kamailio World, and you can learn all about it. And many of us here in Europe will be there, including James Bodie, including myself, including... Is Dan going? Dan Lane is going?
Dan's going.
Well, that's a reason not to go right there.
I'll be
So
there.
don't
Hey,
not go.
Hey, be nice.
No, Dan is going. A bunch of people are going. Unfortunately, Allison, I think the budget didn't quite get up to your standards. So
Quite well, you know. Do people
could not
know
fly you over first class in the Concorde, which doesn't fly anymore anyway. So. Oh, wait a minute. Last signal here. I see a flag on my screen.
And now, here's Carl Fife with one final question. Carl?
Of course. So, you know, I'm going to ask this question on behalf of all of us because it's a problem that we all have, and I know Allison is the one person uniquely qualified to answer it. And the question is, what do you do when you just have throngs of beautiful, eligible women following you around? I mean, you know, you go to Astrakhan and men are always following you around, and it's, you know, and how does one deal with it? What are we to all do with these throngs of eligible, beautiful, young people trying to vie for our attention?
Yes, you know, it's a problem. You know, I don't know about throngs. Oh my gosh. You know, for like 5 days, for 5 days out of the year, I'm a little bit famous, but you know, I don't know how to answer that. Yes, you take it in stride.
I think you already did.
Yeah, there we go.
Okay, Allison. You know, you're our sweetheart.
Carl, just one last thing. When we're in Chicago and I bring my hubby, you'll have to explain to him that Astrakhan is actually a real thing and that I'm not making it up because he doesn't think I'm famous at all. I come home.
You're escaping away for your other secret life.
Yeah. No, but I tell him I sign autographs and I pose for pictures, and he just goes, yeah. So you'll have to emphasize to him that yes, it really does go on.
It's a real thing.
It's in Chicago. I didn't know.
It's a real thing.
Yeah.
Okay, Allison. I'll look for you guys over here in Europe for your second honeymoon whenever that comes up.
Yeah, you never know.
All right, everybody, we're going to end the hangout, and I think I'll skip the bye-bye, Allison. Thanks again.
Bye.
Great to hear from you. Bye.
We love you. This concludes our test. Had it been an actual alert, you would have been instructed to go to VUC.me. American joke. In Europe, please don't miss the chance to come and meet up with the VUC in Berlin. We'll be converging on Kamailio World, which is April 15th through 17th in Berlin. And you can get more information on that at conference.kamailio.com. Check that out, please, and don't miss a chance to taste some wine with us.
Go on, hit the button, Randy.
Good night. Now we're moving to the secret, mature audiences only version of the VUC. Let me just get over to this. Thanks, everybody. Seriously, though, no joke. What? What are you pointing at?
We're still on air.
Yes, we are.
Oh,
we are still on air. We're looking at video. We're looking at VUC.me.